When the final horn sounded Saturday, Caitlin Clark didn't want to accept it. Trailing by 2 points with 2.2 seconds remaining, the Indiana Fever star attempted what would have been a potential game-winning three-pointer. But before she could even get into her upward shooting motion, New York Liberty guard Natasha Cloud poked the ball free. As it bounced down the lane and into the arms of Breanna Stewart, the Fever's final chance to knock off the defending WNBA champs bounced away with it. The Liberty held on for a dramatic 90-88 victory at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. And as the Fever's second straight home loss sank in, so did Clark's anger. Arms wide and mouth agape, Clark made a beeline toward the nearest official, Ryan Sassano, and yelled at him as he walked in the opposite direction. When the refs didn't acknowledge her grievances, she pleaded with her coach, Stephanie White, as White directed her toward their locker room. It was there, away from the mics and cameras, where Clark likely unleashed her full frustration about Saturday's late-game officiating that was sure to fuel debate. White made sure to grab a few more headlines when, after a despondent Clark said, "I don't know," about what happened on the final play, the Fever coach sounded off. "I thought she got fouled," White said. "I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. A -31 free throw discrepancy over the last 3 games. And I might be able to understand it if we were just chucking threes, but we're not. We're attacking the rim, and the disrespect right now for our team has been pretty unbelievable." Before Clark's no call, the Fever were on the wrong end of another no call involving DeWanna Bonner. Tied late at 88-88, the veteran forward caught a pass from Clark near the basket and appeared to get bumped by Cloud, who blocked her layup attempt out of bounds with 10.1 seconds left. Bonner couldn't believe there was no whistle, and she became even more upset when New York guard Sabrina Ionescu was awarded 2 free throws 5.9 seconds later after driving to the hoop and being fouled by Fever guard Lexi Hull. Ionescu sank both free throws, which proved to be the difference in the back-and-forth game that included 14 lead changes. White, who understood she risked a fine from the WNBA for publicly criticizing officials, said it was disappointing that calls haven't gone both ways early in the season for the Fever. She plans to send video clips to the league office, but said she doesn't feel like the system works consistently. During White's rant toward the officials, however, she also pointed the finger at her team. Officials didn't give up a 14-2 run in the fourth quarter. They didn't allow the Liberty to build a 15-point second quarter lead. They didn't let New York shoot 64.3% in the first half. The Fever did all of that, and they paid the price with a gut-wrenching loss. We've got to be able to play through the officiating. We've got to be able to control the things we can control, White said. We're still not recognizing our mismatches. I felt like Aaliyah Boston had plenty of opportunities. We could have gotten her touches down low. We had some turnovers, key turnovers. We settled for poor shots at times. We fought, but we can't dig ourselves a hole from the beginning. She didn't single out a player in her message, stressing the importance of poise and execution. But Clark seemed to be at the heart of it. White didn't need to say her name. The sellout crowd at Gainbridge Fieldhouse saw it. Clark had her usual moments of brilliance Saturday, most notably when she drilled a three-pointer late in the third quarter while being fouled by Liberty guard Rebecca Gardner. Clark followed up her 4-point play with a 33-foot three-pointer at the third quarter horn to give Indiana a 76-68 lead. But those momentum-swinging plays were nullified by an overall poor performance. Clark totaled 18 points, 10 assists, and 5 rebounds, but she committed a season-high 10 turnovers, the most she's had in a game since her WNBA debut, and missed 10 of her 12 three-point attempts. The second-year pro was held to just 2 points in the fourth quarter and missed 3 of her 4 shots, including a questionable 30-foot three-point try with 29 seconds remaining and the score knotted at 88. "Not my best shooting night," Clark said. "I thought I could have taken care of the ball a little bit better. Had some tough turnovers. Ones where my arm was getting grabbed, but whatever. Just keep at it and keep shooting it." Clark, like her coach, also noted Indiana's lack of attention to detail, particularly its fourth quarter dip after a resurgent third quarter. Boston, who led the Fever with game highs of 27 points and 13 rebounds, said the Fever's inconsistency has been an early theme so far, and they must correct it quickly if they hope to realize the championship goals they declared during the preseason. "We just played against the defending champs, right? And we were up 12 going into the fourth quarter," Boston said. "So for us, there is stuff that we look at and say, listen, this is what worked, because we are going to see them again. and just making sure that when it comes to that fourth quarter, obviously, we know we have to dig deep, especially against them as the defending champs. Liberty forward Jonquel Jones scored 14 of her team-high 26 points in the final frame, 2 more points than the Fever scored as a team. Perhaps that differential would have been made up at the free throw line, when Indiana was on the wrong end of a few late no calls. But the Fever recognized that taking aim at officials doesn't absolve Indiana of its own faults. On Saturday, the New York Liberty and Indiana Fever delivered, with the Liberty getting a 90-88 win in a last-second thriller. The momentum changed constantly throughout the game, with both teams leading by double digits at different points in the matchup. A big 12-point fourth quarter from Jonquel Jones pushed New York into the lead, with a pair of free throws from Sabrina Ionescu and a last-second steal from Natasha Cloud sealing the victory. Indiana guards Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham felt that Cloud's final defensive play on Clark should have been a foul, heading straight to the referee to express that sentiment. Despite their protests, plus the anger of the Fever home crowd, the officials stuck to their ruling, and the Liberty came away with the win. The two teams traded leads early on, keeping things tight from the jump. The Liberty went down a starter in the second quarter, with Leonie Fibich heading to the bench after a collision with Lexi Hull. In the minutes after Fibich left, New York started to find a groove, taking a double-digit lead and going up by as many as 15 points. The Fever crept within reach of the Liberty throughout the second half, going on a run of their own and retaking the lead in the third quarter. Indiana went up by as many as 12 points in that quarter. Saturday marked another tough three-point shooting day for Clark. After go 0 for 5 from three-point range in the Fever's win over the Atlanta Dream on Thursday, Clark once again struggled from beyond the arc. She went 0 for 7 on Saturday before finally sinking a contested 3 late in the third quarter. It was an eventful final minute for Clark in that third quarter. Seconds later, Clark crashed into the basket after getting blocked by Breanna Stewart. Then Clark bounced right back, getting a long buzzer-beating 3 to put Indiana up 76-68, heading into the final frame. Despite the Fever leading by as many as 12 in the third quarter, New York didn't let that lead last long. The Liberty's team effort pulled them back into the game, with a Jones three-pointer getting the team back within 1 point of the Fever. Another massive 3 from Jones gave New York the lead and silenced the Indiana home crowd. The final minutes came down to the free throw line. Successful free throws from Jones and Aaliyah Boston tied things up at 88. Ionescu had a chance to take the lead twice, but her three-pointer attempts bounced out of the basket. Indiana had several chances to pull ahead in the final seconds, but fell short each time, with a missed three-pointer from Clark, Cloud getting a block on DeWanna Bonner, and a Kelsey Mitchell layup that came after the buzzer. Ionescu was fouled by Lexi Hull with 7.6 seconds left and sank both free throws to take the 90-88 lead. In the end, it came down to Cloud, who just needed a tap to get the ball out of Clark's hands as the clock ran down. Jones had 26 points and 12 rebounds, while Ionescu put up 23 points. Stewart and Cloud scored 16 points, with Cloud getting 5 steals, including the one that sealed the game. For the Fever, Boston had another great game, finishing with a game-high 27 points and 13 rebounds. Clark finished with 18 points and 10 assists, but also 10 had turnovers in the loss. The Fever are now 2-2 after a busy start to the season and will have a few days off before traveling to play the Washington Mystics on Wednesday.